Thank you for tuning in to the Austin All Day Podcast. I am Jason Powers, and we are here with the Duchman Family Winery's chef Don Dastrup. Follow the podcast on Instagram, support the podcast on Patreon, sit back, pour some wine, and check it out. Chef Don.
Yes, sir.
Duchman Winery.
Duchman Winery. Yeah, I thought it was Duchman, but it's Duchman.
You did not, did you?
I did at first, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, when I got there and everybody kept saying it, so I'm glad I didn't say it out loud in front of the people I actually work with now. So.
Right. Yeah, please bring me on at the Duchman Winery.
The Duchman. Yeah, it's Texas. Everything is, I didn't grow up here, so everybody says things differently.
Yeah.
Manchek and
Manchak?
Manchacha, whatever.
Burnett?
Yeah, it's all that.
People, Burnett and Manchaca is still heard
exactly
everywhere. But Manchak, I go by.
Yeah.
We're going to change the name to like Menchaca.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Is it?
The big petition? No, like...
Oh. Well, I mean, that's how it's spelled, I feel like.
But they were going to change the spelling.
Oh, really?
With like an E. Instead of a Manchak, Menchaca?
Menchaca.
I don't know. I was listening to this book about like native, like all these like escarpment. I didn't know like the history of all these names.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't at all. I mean, I don't know much about South Austin. We've always been like in...
I think it's just Texas in general. All the names. Like
everything.
Yeah, balcones.
Yeah, everything's got a story.
Yes. I didn't hear anything about Manchak, though.
Yeah.
Now I'm interested.
Soon it's going to be the new Rainy Street. That'll be the story in like 10,
we'll be out
12
there
years.
with our, petitioning against it.
There you go.
So how is the winery treating you?
The winery is good, man. It's good. It was, kind of a job that fell into my lap. Well, I obviously had to work for it. I had to, cook for them and everything. But it popped up, and luckily I got a call back, and it was it's going really well. I like it. I dig it. It's just me. I enjoy that. So I'm not, looking for the old chef life right now in my time.
It is just you.
It's just me. So I'm doing the prep, the food, and it's not, it sounds like it's a lot, but usually it's not. So unless I have an event going on or, day to day, I only work Thursday through Sunday. So day to day, I'm just doing the tasting room menu, which is pretty small, and I'll run some features but I get to create and kind of have fun. And then I get to learn about, the winemaking, because we do make all the wines there.
Nice.
At Duchman, and most of our grapes actually come from like the Panhandle up in Plano, and not Plano, Lubbock and Amarillo area up there. So they they get shipped down, and then the guys will kind of grab me. We have a few guys that are out there making the wines, a winemaker and his assistant, and then we have a couple other guys helping. So it's cool to go just watch and see the process of it. And
sure,
obviously the finished product is always nice to take home. So
so you get like bottles of wine.
We get half off, so it's a nice deal. And then my wife enjoys wine, so she wanted to sign up for the wine club. And we have this weekend, we have a wine club event. So we do it every quarter where they come pick up their wines. Whether they sign up for, I think it's like 3, 6, or 12 bottles. Okay. And then I feed them. Basically, everybody gets a plate of something. When they come in, they get a couple glasses of wine, they get to eat, they pick up their bottles, and then they take off or they hang out. So I'll probably feed about, I think last time I did about 875 or about close to 1,000 people. So
wow.
Yeah, over Friday night and then like Saturday.
And it's just
Sunday
you?
Morning. Yeah, just me.
At first I was like, totally doable, but that's a big number.
It's a lot. It's a big number, but I from my past, like doing big numbers is pretty easy for me. I'm pretty good at planning it out and making sure I have enough, and then the next day is harder because then I want to make sure I don't have too much.
Yeah.
And then I have a whole bunch of leftovers. But I made it very simple. The first one I did was like just a couple weeks after I started there, so that was fun. And it's basically just going to be a little salad, a little bite of a dessert, and then I'm doing some Parmesan polenta, and then like a balsamic and red wine braised pork shoulder that I'm just going to kind of do like a Italian style, like pulled pork, if you want to call it that. So it's pretty easy plating it, and then it's kind of just, people come in when they want between this 3-hour period. So I'm basically serving a couple hundred people within 3 hours.
Yeah.
So if you break it down like that, it's not that bad. It's not like I got 500 people coming in an hour. Like they're spread out, and servers just kind of pop back in the kitchen, grab a plate when I have it ready. So I'm kind of pre-plating most of it, and then doing so many at a time when they can kind of let me know, like, hey, we got a big line out front or whatever it is.
Sure.
So it's pretty organized. Most people have been there already and have done enough of those. This will be my second one, so I feel pretty confident about it. And
nice.
I didn't have any issues.
Never any help? You never?
I do have one helper. Everybody helps me there. My GM, Tommy.
Sure. But like in the kitchen?
On a date now, it's just me. I do have a girl that works at one of the other local wedding areas there, Creekside. She comes over and helps me when she can.
Sure.
So if I have something big like weddings or whatever it is, she'll kind of help me, plate up, because we do everything family style for all of our weddings and larger events. And then she'll do the dishes, and clean up and stuff at the end of the night. So
it's driftwood, right?
Driftwood, yeah. Yeah.
So with the ordering, do you get orders that come in, or do you go shopping for this stuff?
I pretty much shop on a day-to-day basis. I do use Benny Keith for all my big stuff, which is only when I have events. And they don't always have everything. Benny Keith is all right. That's who they were using before. But they have all the stuff that I normally need, the oil and, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
The big stuff, chicken and all the proteins. And then most of the time I'm just shopping at Central Market or HEB, on a day-to-day basis. So
the South Central Market?
Usually go to that one. And usually, depending if I'm in Kyle, I'll go to Kyle HEB, or if I'll just hit up the one on Brody. Or sometimes I go out to Dripping and go that way, but it's kind of out of my way.
Is the variety the same out there?
It is. But I kind of know Brody like the back of my hand now, so that's the easiest one and the quickest one that I can get in and out of, So I usually go there at least 2 times a week. Thursday, my first day in there, so I go pick up everything I need for those couple days, and then maybe Saturday or Sunday I try not to have to go in there if I don't need to, because it's always crazy on the weekends at any HEB.
Yeah, it's very true.
Well, especially this time of year right now, as everybody's already getting ready for the holidays. So but yeah, it's just me, just shopping around.
So it sounds like maybe a little like a step back, kind of chilled out for
you?
It
definitely is. It definitely is from what I've
nice.
done. It is. I kind of got out of the business for a little bit because of that reason of just being
too much.
Just kind of drained. It's the only business I've been in since I was 15. So, 23 years almost that I'll be in this business, and it's a great business. I love it. It's all I know. But, at this point with my kids and my wife's job, I needed something that was going to allow me to be around more and still allow me to, create food and be creative, have fun, work with cool people. I really enjoy, my catering director. And then we have our wine club event girl who does, she's a sommelier. And then my GM, and then everybody that works there is great. It's a nice environment. I enjoy going to work. It's a 45-minute commute without traffic, but other than that, it's not bad at all.
But you get to balance now. You get to family.
Exactly. And I work 12 to 6 on a normal day, which is unheard of hours.
I was going to ask what time you go in.
So I usually will get in there about 11:30 or so, depending on
So you don't really deal with too much traffic. Maybe on the way home.
Yeah, just because I live east by the airport, I'll usually hit traffic by the airport and then where I live. So that's pretty much it. But unless there's an accident or something, Mopac's got so much construction right now on the south part of it, south of 71. But other than that, it's really not bad at all.
Is that the way you go?
Yeah, I usually go 71 Mopac and then jump on the quick 45 there and hit, 1826 to 150? 1626?
Sure.
There's too many numbers out there.
There's not too much out there. You have the Hayes City store, which is very popular because well, it's good, but there's not a lot out there.
No, there's not. Vista Brewery is right kind of across the road from us.
Have you been over there?
It is, yeah. It's a great place. They have killer beer. They got really good food.
Okay.
They got a nice little farm out there. They got a nice little mock trailer kitchen outside that they do everything from scratch in there. It's really good stuff. And
seem like good people.
They are. They really are. And they're really cool with us. Like most of the, the tasting room guys, they all go over there at the end of the night, because they usually I think we close at 9, they close at 10, so they get an hour of their beers over there before they close up. And
Sure.
But it's just a great, nice environment. I mean, they're on, a good of land, kind of like Jester King is, kind of like Live Oak outside. Lots of trees, lots of coverage. This time of year, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Summer,
It's gorgeous out there.
Summer it sucks because it's so hot. But like right now is like the perfect time to be there, and it's loaded on the weekends. There's so many cars there when I drive by.
Yeah, there's probably more wineries and breweries out there than there is restaurants or anything else.
Yeah. I mean, Salt Lake's down the road.
Right next door to you.
Basically,
the Trattoria Lucina.
Trattoria Lucina is right next door,
Which is Mandola's, right?
It is Mandola's, yeah. So it's kind of like Mandola's like fancy restaurant.
Right. And it's just gorgeous out there.
It is.
You pull up the vineyards right there.
Yeah.
You go eat there.
The vineyards there. That's mainly Mandola's vineyard. We have a few rows.
You'd never guess that. With your winery.
Exactly.
Right
I know. So we have a few rows of the grapes, but it's mostly Mandola's. And then, I said, most of ours come up from North Texas.
Yeah.
The climate up there for the grapes that we use is a better environment. I'm trying to learn about all of our grapes, because ours we have a lot of Italian style wines. So it's cool because they do like, Texas and Italian grapes, kind of like our hybrid grapes that we make for some of our wines. And so it's
Speaking of Salt Lake also.
Yeah, we do Salt Lake's wines.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So their vineyards actually are for their wines.
Okay.
That they have, which is cool because you can really kind of get that smokiness out of them just from their pits.
That's crazy.
And then Fall Creek is across the street, and I actually did a wine dinner with them.
Now, what's Fall Creek?
Fall Creek is another winery.
Okay.
Fall Creek Vineyards. They're pretty popular.
Oh, across the street from Salt Lake.
From Salt Lake. Yeah.
All right.
So they've been there. I don't know how long they've been there, but they've been, I think, since like the 70s. So they were like one of the first like Texas wineries.
Is there a kitchen there? Food?
I don't think they do there. That's the one by Salt Lake's kind of their smaller one. They have like a little inn there.
Yeah.
Their main one is kind of out towards like Fredericksburg, where all the rest of them are at, pretty much. But they do. I did one of their wines that were from that vineyard for a wine dinner. It was really good, and you can, like I said, you can really get that smokiness from Salt Lake that kind of just permeates the grapes and the vineyards and stuff like that. So it's really nice.
Yeah, I love the hours, though. You say 4 days a week, 12 to 6, but you got to go shopping beforehand in the commute.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, it's nice for me because, like, my wife and kids are at school and at work, and so I can get my morning going, get them out the door, do what I need to get done, and then, take my time and go. Or, if I don't, then, I leave my house at 11 o'clock. I'm still there by 11:45 and ready to go. It's not like I have orders waiting for me when I get there or anything like that. So it's on a day where I don't have any events, I try to keep myself busy.
Right.
Whether it's cleaning or just going out there, like I said, and kind of learning about the wines from the guys, because they all know pretty well, what we're serving there, and I like to be at least somewhat knowledgeable of them because I do pairings with them.
Well, you should be. You'll get caught in a bind one day with a customer. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And they're going to ask me all these questions. I'm not going to know anything. Yeah. So
no, and it's good knowledge to have. It is. Is there something that like pushed you right over the edge that made you need to like take a step back?
I don't think there was like anything in general. I think it was just, like where I was last before I kind of jumped out. I was opening up a restaurant out in Del Valle. It's called Good Times at Dry Creek. It used to be the old biker bar, Cindy's Hog Wild, right on 71, like on the way to Bastrop.
Okay.
So I got with the gentleman there and helped him open that up. Was there, for like, I worked with them for like 9 or 10 months getting it open. And then I just kind of, I don't know, I hit a wall. And I think with, just being in charge of everybody, because I was kind of like the chef and like basically like the operator of the place.
Right.
So I was, obviously we didn't have a huge staff, but I was still dealing with, the BS with the front of the house, the back of the house, and all the ordering and everything like that. And I tend to take on too much when I'm in charge, so that's why the winery works for me, because it's just me, so I have to take on everything. But I don't know. I think I just hit a wall. My wife was kind of changing her career a little bit, and it was putting a lot of stress on her and the kids, and like me not being home doesn't help, obviously.
Sure. What kind of hours are you pulling when you're opening a place like that?
I mean, I was pretty much there all week except for Sunday. I made myself take Sunday off because we just did brunch. So
yeah.
Obviously every now and then I would work, let my sous chefs have a day off or whatever. But either one of them would be there and my cooks, and we just did brunch on Sunday when we opened, which was great because then we all had a day off. Now we don't technically have a full day off together as a family because I work the weekends, but I'm still home in time to like put them to bed. If they have a Monday off because of a school holiday, I'm off. Things like that. So, but I do get events on my days off, that I have to go in and do, obviously.
And it's not like you're pulling these crazy hours.
No, not at all. I mean,
you get home, the kids are still up.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially, Thursday, I try to get home as quickly as I can. I'm usually home by 7, because I got to go to school Friday, but then like Friday, Saturday, they're up anyways. I'm not really in a rush. Yeah.
What are you doing?
No, for my kids to go to school.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry. You got to go to school.
No, I don't have to go to school. I'm done with that stuff.
I was going to say.
Yeah, no. School's out for me.
Yeah. Was there a 2-hour delay for you the other day at school?
They had a 2-hour delay. Yeah. So
that didn't really affect you. I had to
It did for a second because I freaked out because I thought I didn't set my alarm, and I woke up at because the light, our bedroom faces east, so the light always hits in our bedroom.
Sure.
And I woke up and I kind of freaked out, and I rolled over. I was like, oh, my wife's still here. I was like, okay, what's going on? She's like, oh, we got a 2-hour delay. I was like, oh, okay. So roll back over.
Yeah.
Fell back asleep for a little bit, but I can already hear the kids were already up and stuff. Because I usually get up, I get about 5:40 every morning, get them up, and help them get out the door, get their lunches and all that stuff while she gets ready. So
young kids, right?
Yeah, they're 8 and 4.
8 and 4.
Yeah, but they all go to school. My wife, she's an elementary school counselor.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
So they all ride together. They all go to the same place.
Nice.
Which is convenient, and she just needs help getting them out the door. So I get up every morning and get them out the door, and then watch my sports center for an hour and do whatever else I need to get done, whether it's work out or go grocery shopping or do whatever.
That's your jam?
That's my jam.
There we go.
Got to get my sports in.
So where are you originally from?
Originally from Southern California. So I grew up in Norco. It's Inland Empire. Anybody from Southern California probably knows like Riverside area more than Norco, but it's a small town. I say that now, but it's bigger now. But it's basically it was Norco, Riverside, and Corona. So we were North Corona, called Norco. We had horse trails, and everybody had like a half acre. That was kind of like your stipulation to be in Norco was to have a little bit of property and then horse trails because everybody had horses.
Did you have horses?
We did. My sister did. I did not like horses.
No.
No.
Any reason why?
Well, there was a vivid story of me. Something I definitely remember. I think I was like 8 or 9, and I was outside just playing basketball, and we were 2 houses from like the end of the street where the stop sign was at, and this kid came down, barreling down the street on the horse. The horse was kind of out of control, and he smashed his face on the stop sign, and like I'm like standing right there. Yeah, the kid did.
Oh God.
Yeah, so it was pretty gnarly, and I always remember that. And I never horses. My sister loved horses, so that she had like 2.
She didn't see that though.
And I don't think it would have phased her. She still loved horses, and now she has like 3 of them. Now that she's old and has kids. But yeah, that was something.
She's still out in California?
No, she's in Lubbock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or shallow water now, but she's up in Lubbock. My parents live up there too now. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So the whole family followed you here?
No, actually, my sister was out here first. So her and her husband been out here probably about 15 years, maybe. He went to school at Lubbock Christian.
Okay.
Played baseball. She came out here, lived with them for a bit after they got married, and then they decided to stay, and they haven't left Lubbock since.
Nice.
So they've been up there, and then me and my wife came out here. We've been out here about 11 years from California, and we came to visit. Literally, we're here for like 2 days and just kind of fell in love with it.
Was that Austin or Lubbock?
In Austin, not Lubbock.
Yeah. So
yeah, we visited them in Lubbock. Which kind of gave
country?
us. I think it's just not enough to do around there.
Sure,
At least back then. I mean, it's definitely grown. They have some good places to eat. They had some really killer.
5 hours?
6, pretty much
hours.
solid 6 hours. Yeah. So they got some good food, some good barbecue up there. They got Alamo and things like that. So they're definitely growing. But back then, when they first lived there, there wasn't a whole lot to do.
Plus, I mean, being a chef, Austin, much more suitable
for sure. And that was kind of the reasoning too, because I didn't really, we came out here because she got a job teaching, and then I didn't really do much. I think our first, month or two that we were out here, I just kind of hung out and
feeling it out a little bit.
Pretty much, yeah. I kind of went on some interviews, to find my first job out here, and wasn't really in a rush. I didn't need to be.
That was kind of recession, right?
It was, yeah. So when we left California, it was another good reason because it was really bad.
It's a lot better here.
It is. It is. I mean, California has gotten a little bit better, but it was really bad. Like I said, she was going to lose her job teaching, and I just started like a private chef business. So I really wasn't leaving much because I was only doing it about 6 months, I think.
Yeah.
So we left that, and then we just picked up and came out here. She had an interview in July, came out for a teachers conference kind of thing for an interview and stuff like that. Had one interview with Del Valle. Got it. And we came out in August.
Yeah.
So it was not a good time. Not a good time to move to Texas, even at 12 o'clock at night. It was still about 97% humidity.
Imagine lugging boxes like that.
Oh man, we were excited that the water heater wasn't on yet. We just took ice cold showers, and it was nice. So
yeah, that is nice.
Yeah.
So life in California prior to moving here.
Yes, good.
Maybe prior to cooking, what were you up to as a kid?
I played a lot of sports, basketball and baseball mainly. California is not. We had Norco was a big football school. My high school was. We had some good guys roll through there actually that went pro. But I played basketball and baseball.
You tall? Have you always been tall?
I've always kind of been the taller one. Yeah. Until I got to high school.
Yeah.
So like Parks and Rec, the local stuff. I was always kind of the taller kids.
Sure.
And once I got to high school, I remember my freshman year playing basketball. I played against a kid who was like 6'7", and I was about 6'1".
Oh yeah.
And then by junior year, he was about 7 feet tall. Same kid.
He's a big kid.
He was a big kid. He couldn't get up and down the court very quick.
Right.
It's like by junior year, he actually had some skills down. So I'm trying to guard that guy. It was good times, but I enjoyed it. Did a lot of golfing. My grandfather and my dad grew up on a golf course, so I do a lot of golfing. Probably do more now than I did when I was a kid. I never really enjoyed it when I probably should have with my grandfather when he was around, as much as I do now. I wish I kind of did and would have got a little bit better at it maybe.
Sure.
Maybe didn't get cut from the high school team like I did because I didn't play that much, but it was fun. So
you got cut for what?
For golf. Yeah, we had a golf team, and I just wasn't good enough, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
That happens?
Yeah. It wasn't even a big team, but I remember going to tryouts and stuff, and I think there was, I don't know.
Today they send you home with a trophy.
Yeah,
you're not
exactly. Everybody gets a trophy,
right? But
I have trophies, the big and small, when I was a kid. Like baseball and
yeah. So what was it that brought you? You said 15, right? You ended up.
I started. Kitchen. Yeah. Well, I was in the front of the house for about the first 5-6 years of my career.
Oh, okay.
So
just like a local.
I work for Mimi's Cafe.
Mimi's,
yeah. Well, there's a couple here. There's one up in Round Rock. There's one.
So that's a nationwide thing.
It is, yeah. They were.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so they were a lot smaller, obviously back then, but they were ran very well. They had 4 main owners back then. I think 2 of them actually were French. So everything that we did was actually really good. For that kind of diner or whatever kind of Marie Callender's.
The pastry little area, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it was a great job. I started off as a host and a to-go person or whatever you want to call it. And then I did that, and I just kind of got I got drugged into that business. So
you're in the front of the house for 4 or 5 years. What ultimately led you to venture into the back of the house?
I think I just got tired of dealing with
people?
guests. Yeah. which usually happens.
Funny enough.
Yeah, right. And not that I haven't done that, as a chef, but I think it was just on a day-to-day basis. I had a
different beast in the back of the house.
It is. Well, I had a friend who was going to school, to culinary school, and so I kind of just went to orientation that they had and was not really doing much in community college at the time. I thought I wanted to be an architect, but that didn't work out. And then it was kind of like, okay, I was 20. I can go into management with Mimi's as a front of the house manager. They were already offering me that. I was, a host, a trainer, a server, a trainer. Like I went through the ropes there. I knew that place like the back of my hand. I worked, as an 18-year-old, when I started being able to be a server at 18 because we served booze. Halfway through my senior year, I was, making $2,500 a month, off tips and my paychecks, and
that's
so
great.
I didn't. So my senior year, I didn't play basketball. I didn't do anything but just go to school and work,
make it rain,
make the money. Yeah, I enjoyed money.
But would you say at this time in your life you were kind of like thinking about what you were going to do for your future?
I was, because at this time I was already dating my wife. I proposed to her very early on in our relationship.
Oh, did you guys like high school sweethearts?
No, we actually were kind of at rival high schools, if you want to call it that. We actually met a year out of high school on a blind date of all things, and
like set up by friends. How does that?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Her best friend worked with my ex-brother-in-law. Like they used to like night stock the grocery store. And we met at Starbucks, and I think for like the next, she'll kill me if I don't know exactly how long it was, but for a very long time, we were inseparable after that.
Okay.
And so we got engaged about 8 months after we started dating, but we were engaged for almost 2 years before we actually got married. So.
And wise, you guys.
She was at Cal State Fullerton getting her degree there. Her parents were like, she needs to finish school. I'm like, totally understand. By this time, I was already living on my own. I moved out when I was 18 after high school, so I was already living on my own for a couple years.
But lady in the picture, thinking maybe this is, you guys are going to get married, so you start thinking about what am I going to do with my life?
Exactly, and she was a pretty big voice in that.
And this orientation comes into play, and
I just got hooked. Yeah, I pretty much. I remember our pastry chef was carving a life-size Harley Davidson out of chocolate that he was taking on the Jay Leno show. He was like a master chocolatier.
Wow. At the Mimi's?
No, this was at the culinary school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, culinary school.
So after you've signed up and everything, you're paid.
Yeah. Well, no, that was actually at orientation.
No shit.
Yeah. So they had him out there. They brought everybody in who was interested in going. Walked around. The school was new. It was Art Institute, so not like, I didn't go to CIA or anything like that. So they were definitely more on the the media part of it than as far as the culinary aspect of the school.
Hey, it pans out nowadays, right?
It does. So they were still new. I think I was the third class to start there. And then my buddy of mine who actually ended up passing away not too long after I started there in an accident. Wow. Yeah, he got in a really bad car accident. He was like the first class, so I went there, checked it out, was kind of definitely intrigued by it, met some really cool people along the way, and then I just was like, all right, I'm not enjoying, I needed to do something. So I didn't really enjoy, I wasn't really big on school. Not that I got bad grades or anything, like I was one of those kids.
Even the culinary school.
Yeah, because we still had to take, like art history. I remember taking art history and a couple math classes.
It's a little different than traditional, like Le Cordon Bleu kind of.
Well, yeah, I got my associate's degree through it, and again, this is like 18 years ago now, 17 years ago. So it's a long time ago that we started that. And so it was, it was different, so I had some stuff that I actually got to transfer over, from community college that I didn't have to take. But I had some really good chefs, mainly like two big guys that really got me like going. One was Peter Strifolino. He was my intro chef, and he actually got me my first job in the kitchen. So like my first semester was intro, and I got a job probably like, I don't know, 2 months, maybe not even that, like a month and a half after I started school in the kitchen. He got me a job at a hotel, me and a buddy of mine. And then after that, the next couple classes I had a chef, Chef Kwok. He was very inspirational guy. I think he saw talent in me, and he pushed me to do things. And obviously once I started working, I was kind of bringing things from work to school. Because a lot of other kids, they weren't doing it. I had another buddy who was like a bellman, and he's like, I can't quit being a bellman. He worked at like Disneyland, at one of the Disneyland hotels. He's like, I can't quit being a bellman because I'm making too much money, and I got kids on the way and all this other. So there's a lot of people, and I highly doubt like 10% of that class who graduated is actually still in this business. Which is crazy.
I think that's common, anyways.
It is.
I really do. Like a couple guys who've been on from Le Cordon Bleu here.
Yeah,
I think a couple of them said that they might be the only people in their class that are.
Yeah, they're actually doing it. Yeah,
yeah. But that school, is it still open?
It is. Yeah. So this was in
more than Le Cordon Bleu.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, Art Institute. There was. I feel like there's still one in Austin. I'll have to look that up. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is one in Orange County I went to, and I'm pretty sure it's still open.
Sure.
But again, they did computer stuff, media stuff there too. At the school, so it was like a multimedia and culinary school, which is kind of odd.
But tied into one.
No, it was separate. So it was like you had your culinary degree, and then you
see.
had like multimedia stuff.
You almost today could have a course.
You really could.
Yeah,
it probably would be beneficial.
Like chef, here's how you take your Instagram photo.
I was gonna say here's an Instagram class, or here's a Facebook class.
And today class, hashtags.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? You need to have the proper.
Which
hashtags.
I'm like a year into all that stuff. Like I never did that before I opened the last restaurant, Good Times, because I kind of had to get the social media going for that place to do anything.
Oh, so prior to that, you never really messed with it?
Never had Facebook, never had Instagram.
I was at the age of people where when it became a thing, somebody set up a Facebook for me when I was, mature enough, like, I don't know, 18, 19.
Yeah.
And then, so I saw it all happen. And then I thought I was kind of with it and on top of it. But it has changed so much, so rapidly that I don't know.
Nobody ask me any kind of questions about how to do whatever on Facebook. I mean, I can post stuff and that's about it. You know? I think I like the wrong things and then it gets me in trouble with my wife or whatever it is. So it's, but it's, now it's kind of more, for me, it's just, keeping up with family and stuff like that. A lot of my family's on Facebook and
exactly.
And they're all in California and stuff, cousins and things like that. So I get to see people's kids, get to show my kids off a little bit, which I enjoy.
Yes.
Because they're good looking kids and they do funny things because they're at that age of doing that. So
that's all you need, though. As long as you know how to put up a picture.
Exactly.
Auntie so-and-so can see it. You're good.
And my wife's like, you type horribly. Your vocabulary is really bad. I'm like, well, it's a post. I'm not worried about it being, perfect. Sorry, babe.
Some folks are. Some people get reamed for that kind of thing.
They do.
Misspell. What is it? They or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
They are.
Let's just keep it separate.
So, yeah, but it's today these things go hand in hand. I mean,
they really do.
But what's cool about social media these days is you can really see what somebody's up to. I mean, as far as like a chef goes,
exactly, and that's
a restaurant.
I mean, my Instagram is pretty much sports, beer, and food. That's all I follow.
Yeah. Okay.
On my Instagram. So like I'm looking at breweries. I'm looking at food, restaurants I like.
Yeah.
I'm looking, my sports and my teams and stuff like that. Like that's all I got. Like I'm not really worried about anything else.
We've had a number of people on here, obviously, but like Ryan Rosen, Chef Ryan Rosen, opened the Brooklyn Breakfast Shop, and we were talking what he does and what a lot of people do is like if he's sold out that day, he posted, I'm sold out, thanks for coming. If he's not going to be open or 2-hour delay with the kids, we're opening late today. People see that when they open their phones. So yeah, it's pretty powerful. It's like a digital business card in a way.
It really is. It really is. It's a good way to put it. Digital business card.
Sure, right. Well, a lot of, we exchange messages for this through Facebook. Yeah. So you get through the culinary, and Chef Kwok?
Chef Kwok, yeah. He was a really good teacher. We had another teacher there that was pretty awesome, but he got fired for pretty much being an idiot. We don't need to get into that. But yeah, he was probably 3 of my last 5 culinary classes was my instructor. And he always got me for extra credit stuff or any kind of events that he was doing. Like he would grab me along. Everybody had to do the restaurant course. So we had a little restaurant at the bottom of the school, everybody had to work in that. I was already. This is like at the end of. This is like the end of my time at school, and I've already been working in the business for a year and a half. I was working at a 5-star resort in Laguna Beach, and so
were you doing a banquet at the Laguna Beach, or was
no?
That
I worked in the restaurant there. It was called the Montage. Gorgeous place, like literally on the cliffs of the ocean. It was beautiful. I love working in Laguna. I miss the state of California.
Sure.
I love the beauty of it. I love my mountains, my beaches. I love Texas, but it doesn't compare to what California can offer as far as like the visual aspects of being a state.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, Austin is gorgeous. But
Austin is gorgeous. The hill country's great, and but just the fact of I grew up camping in like Northern California, and then always going to the beach. We were inland, so we were 30 minutes from the beach, 30 minutes from the mountains. So
is there a but somewhere? Because like it sounds like California is where you'd like to be.
Well, I know because that's all I like is the state.
Okay, all right.
I could do without the people, the economy there. Obviously, other than family, but yeah, that's the reason we've been in Texas is we go back and visit every year, and it's just enough to kind of get me through. So
well, we're slowly turning into kind of a California.
Yeah. I know. I feel like me and my wife got in here before like the huge influx of Californians.
Have you heard build the wall around Austin?
Oh yeah.
Have you heard that?
I haven't heard that.
Well, you might hear somebody in Driftwood say that.
Yeah, I'm sure. I wouldn't doubt that.
It's been said behind our backs.
It's growing way too fast, which is sad because even when I came out here, I mean, it was like food trucks and trailers everywhere, and it was just easy to like get around.
Yes.
People used to complain about traffic, and I'm like, go sit on the 91 freeway in Southern California. That's traffic.
Now, what do you think?
It still sucks. It's still not as bad as California, though.
Not as bad, but it's gotten.
But it's gotten worse.
It's catching up.
Yeah. I don't drive in traffic time, so I don't really have a say in it.
Yeah.
I'm sure getting out early, going early, probably hit it. My wife, jumps on the toll road, so
yes,
she doesn't really deal with it either. Because, like I said, we're just kind of way east, on the outskirts. So,
but good people here.
For sure.
Yeah, so California's got.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing I can really say about like Lubbock, where my family's at. Like, you meet the nicest people in the world in Lubbock.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, and in Texas in general, but in Lubbock, it's crazy. I mean, people are just, my mom definitely fits up there because she's the kind of person that can talk to anybody, just like my grandfather was.
So is it more like a fake, like kind of facade out in California?
Oh, yeah. It's not even a facade. People will just be dicks to you no matter what. That's just how they are.
It's funny because, like, good weather. I'm from, the Chicago area.
Yeah.
People are dicks there.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, it's cold all the time, so I'm a dick too. But, California is beautiful. You think
it is. I just a lot of pretentious rich people out there that,
I think we're starting to see a little bit of that here, too, unfortunately.
We are.
They're coming out of the woodworks.
Yeah.
Instead of just, like, walking around in sandals.
They're probably well, that's me. That's me usually 80% of the year, too, except for right now. So.
Right, but you would never know.
Yeah.
Is he a millionaire or is he just a dude?
Yeah, exactly. I wish I was the
Now
millionaire,
we're starting to be able to say, oh, that's the millionaire.
That's yeah.
Stay clear.
Exactly.
Make way.
Make way, yeah.
But so along the lines of Austin and its growth. So what do you think? Are you a fan of everything that's happening? It's crazy, right?
It's crazy. I mean, downtown is not as fun as it used to be. It's just hard to navigate down there now.
So as far as like getting around, but like
exactly,
as far as
getting
places
down there
to
is
go,
great. Oh yeah, I don't think there's a place that beats it.
It's insane, right?
It is. It really is. I mean, food wise, booze wise.
Booze-wise, it's incredible.
And beer, I can't say enough about, how much good beer we have around here and how local it is.
Yeah.
And
what are your go-to breweries?
I live right by Live Oak and High Sign, right there by the airport. And again, Vista, I've become a huge fan of those guys.
Jester King, do you go
Jester
there?
King, I love that place too. I mean, that's just a great place. It's just, for me, it's a place where I can take my kids and let them do something while I enjoy my day.
King?
Oh, yeah. Well, any place.
Yeah.
Jester King, my kids play in their little sandbox. They run around their 100 and however many acres they have now. And I don't have to worry about them,
Yes.
and they can go chase the goats or whatever it is out there. And now that they have Chef Damien out there making some really killer food.
Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah.
And they're the pizza was always good out there, but now that there's, that upper echelon of food out there that you can get, at a brewery is really inspiring for, especially for like me where we don't have a huge menu, but maybe that's something in the future at Duchman's that we can do, things like that. And then Friends and Allies is another great brewery I love.
Yep.
I met Ben, who's the owner there, a few times at my old place I worked at, and he's a really good guy. Killer beer, great little spot they have, to go do some tastings and stuff right next to Austin East Cider. So my wife's happy because she can have her cider and then I can have my beer. So it all works out.
Right.
And the kids can run around somewhere, not in the parking lot, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, definitely. Funny enough, I met somebody from Live Oak at Jester Brewery.
Oh, okay.
And he was telling me to go to, I can't remember what, I think it was for, man, I must have been maybe Halloween or something. I don't know. I never
Live Oak?
Yeah. I didn't make it, but
well, they have like the Krampus thing going on, which actually is on my birthday on December 5th, so that's coming up pretty quick there, I think.
Okay, neat.
And that's the little creepy Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Collects the kids, and
you'll be doing that?
No. They're just they do an event there at Live Oak.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed it last year, but I definitely want to try to go this year.
Yeah, no, but it's like a utopia of places to eat, and I mean just the restaurants that have opened in the last year.
Oh, I probably couldn't even name any. Man, I can't keep up
Commodore,
with these.
right?
Yeah,
that's within at least like the last year.
Yeah.
And we just get wonderful places. Laurel's pretty new.
Yeah,
but those are like rock star. Places.
It's just there's so much force here in culinary. And the guys like Lauro, with those two coming together, to come up with a place, with Franklin and Tyson, like that's just crazy for those two to come up together and come up with a place. And all the guys, another one that I don't think people talk enough about is like Kirkle with Parkside.
Okay.
Their places are great. I got a buddy, I think he just started working for them for like their catering and stuff. And, they do, I was in talks with them about working for them too. And that was another part where I was just iffy on what I wanted to do at the time.
Okay.
Like I didn't know if I wanted to get into that, go work on 6th Street in those hours again.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the staging and that was kind of the fun part. I went around for a while when I was looking and just staging. And that's kind of what I wish I could do now, is just go.
Well, you can, right?
I can, but I can't. I got kids, I got a mortgage, I got to pay the bills.
Oh, I mean like a stage.
Oh yeah, I could stage anywhere for sure. But I always wanted to just, I've been, and I still have some time even with the winery. Like I don't, I have 3 days off that I could go actually work somewhere, which is kind of in my plans.
Hey, you can't take away your kids, right?
Yeah.
But they're not going to hear this, and if they do, good for them because they'll be older if they're listening.
For sure.
But if you never had the kids, right? Mm-hmm. This is a weird thing to think about. But I have kids too. I'm just saying, as a chef, what is because I'm sure you fantasized. I'd have done this. You know what I mean? I'd gone to New Orleans and cooked for.
I think me and my wife. I think we probably should have at a younger age maybe went somewhere else. I mean, Austin was great, but I think we could have took the time to go maybe overseas.
Oh, to do some traveling or move?
Yeah, I mean, move, maybe live in Italy or something like that. Which is her vacation that we need to take someday that I owe her. Our 40-year-old birthday's coming up in a few years, so that's something that we're looking forward to. But and Mexico is a huge place that is actually something I plan on doing in the next couple years is to go down there. Her family's from Mexico.
But to vacation.
No, well, yeah. We plan on going down there for the summer.
So are you going to cook?
I am. I plan on two of her cousins are actually chefs down there.
Oh, neat.
So one works in Mazatlan.
So you've got the inn.
Yeah, and the other one he works in Cabo. And they both. The one in Cabo, he does like a Japanese Mexican fusion, which is pretty killer.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and then the one in Mazatlan is very traditional, which is what I want to do, and that's kind of my next step in this world of culinary is to probably get something open as far as like a food truck of like a.
Oh, really?
Like a true Mexican food truck because there's not Mexican food out here, man.
Like an authentic kind of.
Very authentic, yeah. Okay. From a white guy from Southern California, but hey.
But you think we need it?
Yeah. I think we need it. Suerte is probably one of my favorite places.
Have you been over to Nixta?
I haven't.
Okay, 12th Street.
Okay.
East side. It's
what's it called?
Nixta Taqueria.
Okay.
That's Chef Edgar. He was on here.
Okay.
And his wife or girlfriend,
yeah.
Sarah Martin Biggie. So different last name, girlfriend.
Yeah.
They opened Nixta, but I think you're gonna like that. You thank me later. But
I'll
go
go.
check it out.
I'll take the wife over there. We actually have my parents coming into town, so we'll have some time to go have date nights.
You're gonna like it, yeah.
But that's kind of my goal is to get something open. I'm
In
looking
that kind of vein, the Suerte kind of.
maybe not so much Suerte. I mean, they're definitely very, I mean, I love that they focus on corn and masa and all their dishes and everything.
That's why you'll like Nixta.
Yeah, but I just thinking more of like coastal Mexican food because Mazatlan's on the coast, so a lot of seafood, which is hard to get in Texas, obviously. So it's going to take a lot of planning and costing out and seeing if it's even feasible to do that. But I'm looking more of like a food truck where I can kind of go be around, maybe get into a brewery that doesn't do food and hook up with somebody like that.
We're going to have 12 bars opening.
That's what I heard.
So just
somebody told me that.
Yeah, land over here somewhere.
Yeah, so that's kind of in like my 2-year plan right now.
That's excellent, man. You got to keep me in the loop when you do.
Yeah,
that.
So I plan on not this summer, but the next, taking the family down there for like a month or two, as long as we can. And then I just cook and they just enjoy Mexico. My kid loves it down there. We went last summer.
That like brings me back to the question. So. There's no kids, but you think you guys would go travel? So,
I think we would have been, I think Italy
but that would
involve
cooking.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Right. To get that experience, right?
Exactly,
But you got the damn rascals. You can't
but they're great travelers too. So that's
excellent.
We've moved them a lot, not moved, but as far as like we've always done something.
That's good.
So cars, airplanes, whatever it is, like they're good travelers. So I don't have any qualms taking them. My son enjoys, he's always jumping in my kitchen when he comes to visit me wherever I've worked.
Yeah. Okay. How about at home? Is it?
You know what? They don't really, unless I'm making like desserts or something for him or cookies or something specifically for them. He loves fish, so he loves to watch me cook.
And this is the 8-year-old?
Yeah, my son's 8, yeah. So he loves to watch me cook and do that stuff. But usually I'm doing that during the week. They're at school, and then by the time I come home, I already have dinner ready to rock. And, but then there'll be days where I tell him what I'm making. He's like, can you wait for me? I want to make it with you, whether we're doing burgers or stuff. I'll let him. I got one of those big, like, 4-burner like propane flat tops outside. He likes to cook on that thing and flip the burgers and stuff like that. So he likes to pitch in for sure. My daughter, not so much. She's pretty picky, but my son's, I love it that he's daring when he eats now, way more than he ever has been. And I appreciate that because I can't stand it when he just complain about stuff. I'm like, dude, just trust your dad. And I think he trusts me now with food.
Right.
I think he knows better now after all these years. And
some of the things you try and tell a kid to eat, it's like a guarantee that they'll love it.
I probably did it to myself because I'd mess with my kids a lot when they were younger and tell them to try something and it would be horrible. So that's probably my own fault. But he's grown to love. Like he loves salmon. So anytime I get salmon at the store, like he's excited.
Same with my daughter.
Yeah, I don't know his salmon. Like he loves salmon. I mean, he'll even eat sushi, spicy salmon rolls, whatever it is.
Wow,
like he's all about it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's growing in that, and I love to see that because I want him to try things. Like that's my plan for him when they grow up is to get out of college or get out of high school. I want you guys to go travel. Go see the world a little bit. Go try some new things. Pick what you want to do. Then I love my wife, and we'll be married 16 years in December. But I want my kids to enjoy their teen. Not that I didn't enjoy it. I'm getting in trouble when I say this, but I want my kids to get out of high school, go do some traveling. I don't want them to get tied down with falling in love and doing all that kind of stuff, which happens.
For the record, what you did is beautiful. I mean, you guys.
Well, we've
married young. And
we got married young. I was 22, she was 21, and
be a different story if you didn't stay together.
Exactly, it would be, and we know a lot of people that haven't. That did get married around the same time as us.
Sure.
But. It's been, we're a rock for each other, I think, and we had 7, almost 8 years without kids.
And that brings me to something I want to kind of touch on. When you came here and you she's teaching.
Yeah.
What did you end up doing?
So my first job out here was actually at the Roaring Fork restaurant downtown.
Yeah.
Right there on 7th Street in Congress. It was kind of between there, and then I was also interviewing at the AT&T Conference Center when it was still kind of new.
Was it Chef Tim at the time? No, it couldn't have been.
No, it was actually it was Josh.
Josh.
Josh Watkins.
They've had
We've had a plethora of chefs at that place.
Yeah, I was going to say revolving door, but it's like a bad phrase to use. But it kind of, I mean, that's how it goes a lot of times.
It really is in some places. But it was kind of like the first ones to call me back. So, but it worked out because I met a lot of good people with Roaring Fork. And I just went in. I was like, dude, I just want a line cook job. I was a chef. I ran a country club. I did all that stuff. I had a
previously
private chef in California. Yeah. So when I came out here, I was like, dude, I'm going to enjoy Austin. I don't need to make a whole bunch of money because it's cheap out here.
Can I ask you if this happened? You start cooking on a line, somebody out of the corner of their eyes sees your skills, and then the next thing you know, you're a sous chef?
6 months later, they gave me an offer when they opened the one up north as a sous chef. So I took that. And then we ended up moving up north Austin a little bit off of like Runberg. We bought a house up there. So they gave me that. I think it was just about 6 months after I started downtown.
I didn't know there was a location north.
Yeah, it's on Breaker. It's in Stone Lake, like where Mopac, right in between Mopac and 183. If you go down Breaker from Mopac to 183, there's like a Austin Pure Fitness or whatever. It's like back behind there.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful restaurant.
Where's like Trulux? Where is it in relation to the Trulux? At the Arboretum.
So you'll go past Trulux.
Okay.
Because Trulux is like right next to Costco.
Yes.
So, and then you hang a right on Breaker right there.
Okay.
Past Costco. And then
I was just there. So
it's like the first main light. You'll hang a left, and it's tucked back
Roaring
there.
Fork. What else is around it?
It's all like office buildings.
Interesting.
And then,
Interesting
Austin,
spot for
Austin Pure Fitness. Actually, no, Red Porch is there now too.
Oh, cool.
It's right behind Red Porch.
And Red Porch is doing something new. They closed. They reopened. Do you see this?
I haven't.
Okay, I need to get more information, but I know the chef who's behind what they're doing, and it's going to be cool. Whatever's going on.
Nice, yeah. So they opened that one. It's a beautiful restaurant. It's a wood oven, wood grill, wood rotisserie.
Yeah.
A great chef core that was there.
And you took the bait. You were the sous chef.
I did. There was two of us. And then actually the corporate chef was our opening exec, Chef Harold, who's the guy who owns Salty Sow.
Oh, yeah.
And
this is all on the other business side of things.
Yeah.
I know these guys.
Between him, I got to work with him. I work with Carver, Chef Carver, who has Red Ash.
That's so funny.
And Chef,
these
he worked for Eddie V's, so he was there while we opened, as like helping us open, because he was like the corporate chef for Eddie. So it was all under the same guys like Guy and Larry. Were the owners, Larry Foles.
Okay.
The guy they started with Z Tejas out here, so I got them going, and then they got to the Roaring Fork, the Eddie V's, Wild Fish, which I don't think they ever opened a Wild Fish in Austin.
But it's the Eddie V's, right? Same thing.
Yeah, well, not anymore.
Okay.
Eddie V's is Darden now. Darden bought them out a while ago. So
the chef Chris at Eddie V's now, you don't know him?
No.
Okay.
No. They're Darden. They've been Darden. So I got to work with him. Actually, James Robert too, who's the chef at Fix downtown. So I got to work with a lot of really good chefs.
I really want to talk to him in here.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's a really cool guy, Louisiana dude. He's really cool. They used to come in a lot for brunch and stuff like that at the Roaring Fork up there. So he's a really good guy.
Nice.
I ran into him at the Food and Wine Fest year before last when I was there doing it with True Food, and so. But it was a great job, busy place. I think we're, doing 7 million maybe a year, 7-8 million there a year. I might be crazy, but that's what it felt like anyways. So it was a really good joint, and I got to meet one of my good mentor chefs, Blake, who is now the chef and owner of 8-Track, and he works for the guys at Kung Fu Saloon. He's another guy you should talk to too. I'll give him your contact. He's a good dude. Blake is a great guy.
Does he work in that office down there by Winflow or by where Bar Peach is?
I'm not sure where exactly he's based out of.
Okay.
But he's kind of the same situation. He's got kids and stuff, so he's got that kind of corporate chef job where he doesn't have to be there every day. I don't think. Hopefully,
but he's the corporate chef for Kung Fu Saloon.
Last I talked to him, and he was also.
I may have met him. Yeah. If it's the same guy, I may have met him.
He worked at UT, so he was my chef at UT when I worked there.
Okay,
so
that's where you guys met.
Yeah, so he was with Roaring Fork in San Antonio. So when I took the sous chef job, I went and trained with him down in San Antonio for a month. So that's where we really kind of hit things off and became pretty good friends, I think. And so he ended up leaving the company, went back to UT where he previously worked. And then when his exec Sue was leaving, he called me. And I was kind of like over like true. Roaring Fork was great. It was kind of late nights. We were just getting pregnant with Nate, with my son. So my wife was pregnant, and I was just 1 o'clock in the morning. Wasn't really working for me anymore to work that late. At that time. And so I went over there to the UT club in the stadium, in the football stadium, and worked with him, and was there for like 7 years.
Wow, it's a good stretch.
It was. So he was there for about the next year and a half or so, and then he left to pursue other things, and then I took over when he left.
And you were basically there until you mentioned True Foods?
Yeah. So I was there 7 years, and then True Foods came along. Fox Restaurants, great restaurant group. That guy's a brilliant man.
You've kept up with that, right? A little bit?
I mean, I love all their concepts. I wish we had more here.
They've sold it.
They did. They did sell True Food.
But they sold everything.
They sold North and Flower Child. They still have Culinary Dropout.
Oh, no, they still have Culinary.
They still have Dropout, yeah.
And that's like the best one. I don't know.
I mean, just concept-wise, yeah, it's
cool.
It's one of the best ones.
He kicked off the podcast. He was the...
Oh, really?
Episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
Chef
Joe? Yeah.
But Joe P., you know Joe?
I know. I think I know Joe P., yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked with Todd, who was the chef who brought me into...
You totally know JP. Yeah.
So it was a funny story with those guys is that I actually was... How I got into True Food was... I went out to Arizona and staged for Culinary Dropout for the exec chef position there. Cool. So I went there, which is really cool. It was kind of like my first experience of like flying me out somewhere, putting me up for a couple of days, cooking for them.
Exciting, right?
It was intimidating and exciting at the same time. So they had this little joint next to the one in Arizona called Little Cleo's, which was amazing, but it was like a little oyster bar.
Fox stuff?
Yeah. Okay. So he has like 18. At the time he had like 17 concepts in Phoenix.
Is there like a Henry's?
Henry's is gorgeous. There's one in Dallas.
I've never seen it.
If you're in Dallas, find it and go. It's bitchin'. It was probably one of my favorite ones. That's where we actually did all of our like chef training and stuff. They had like a little kitchen in the back that we used. Okay. And they're really starting to grow with Henry's. There's one in Coronado, in San Diego area down in California. We just actually saw, but didn't get a chance to go to when I was there.
And it was also the Cheesecake Factory.
Not all of them.
I don't know if we said that.
Cheesecake just got Cheesecake just got North and Flower Child, as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not the expert, but they were feeding into them for a while to get more open, and then
we have two North downtown. We have North of Domain. We have Flower Child,
and that
downtown.
North of Domain's been there a long time because they were kicking when we first moved here. So I think it's been 12, maybe 13 years of that one.
Wow.
I think that was like one of the first restaurants up in the Domain.
It says a lot because a lot of restaurants have come and go at the Domain.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just around them. I mean, because now there's a True Food, which used to be Blackfin Pub, which used to be, I don't even remember what it was before then, some other like old steakhouse.
Yeah.
And Jasper's used to be next door to it. And now it's Grand Lux Cafe. Like
Grand Lux.
Actually, I think Crew...
You know what else closed down the street there is that, what was that? I want to say Uchi. It's not called Uchi. It's called, we know Uchi.
Yeah.
It was on the corner there. Oh, what the heck is the name of that place?
In the Domain?
Yeah. I can't think of it.
Yeah.
No, I can't think of the name. I'll come up with it.
The Domain is a great spot. I mean, we went up there a lot when we lived in Pflugerville. That was easy for us to get to. So.
That's one of those places that you can really identify, the wealth in Austin.
Yeah, for sure. It's grown. I feel like the right way. They're adding more and more. I think Perry's. I don't know if it's open yet, but I know they're putting Perry's up.
Perry's
there too.
Is open.
Is it open now? Yeah. I haven't been to the Domain in a while. The southeast now. I don't go that far.
We could. I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this, but like Perry's is a place I wouldn't see closing there. Like just like North and CDO and Flower Child. I mean,
North is just Fox did everything right, and that's
Second Bar and Grill is there. He's not going to close.
No, and I just like Fox. They just did everything right. The way they did things, the kitchen, everything from scratch. With True Food, with even when I was at CDO, like staging for those guys, like. So I didn't end up getting it. But on my way home, that's where I was like standing in line, getting on the plane. And Todd, who was the chef at True Food, was in front of me. Chef Todd, he's a big, good friend of Joe's. He worked for like, what do you call it? The steakhouse downtown.
Perry's.
Not Perry, Capitol Grill.
Oh, okay.
And those guys for a while. And so he was actually standing in front of me. I was talking to my wife on the phone. And so he kind of overheard me. And then we sat next to each other in the plane and talked all the way home and, made a good little relationship there. And, I didn't end up getting it, and which probably for the better. I just was really intrigued because it was kind of more my food style than True Food was.
True Food, very healthy, right?
Very healthy, yes. Very healthy. A lot of stuff that I probably haven't really worked with a lot of as far as ingredients-wise. And but it had a purpose. Everything on the menu there had a purpose, which was really nice and inspiring. And
what do you mean?
Like it was good for you. Like the reasoning why we use Anasazi beans instead of just pinto beans, or how much turmeric we used. We made fresh juice pack. We cut all the vegetables for the juices every day, and it was a beast. But Todd called me. His executive sous chef left, so it was another situation like UT. I got in there as exec sous, so I left UT in October, which kind of screwed them because it was football season. But it was 55 hours a week, 2 days off. UT, I pretty much worked Monday through Saturday and
never
was there on Sundays if we had events because we were closed.
Yeah.
And never left. In football season, I mean, I'd work 90 to 100 hours during football weeks, organizing all the suites and all the buffets and stuff like that. So True Food and Fox, just the concepts of all that they had, like, just was really intriguing. And it was a great company to work for. True Food was awesome. It was a beast. I had, Todd was there. I think I got there October. He ended up leaving January. And so for a few months, there was only three of us, three sous chefs running that place, which is insane.
Kona Grill.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. There it is.
Completely random.
They did. Yeah. No. They did close down. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Because that place always seemed to be busy.
That's what I'm saying. It's just crazy, the things that come and go there. Sorry to
No. That's true. That's a good place too, man. They had some good happy hour there.
There you go.
Yeah,
crazy.
For sure.
The times are changing.
I don't know. I wonder if they all close or if they just close that one.
It's a good question because it's like I thought that was like one of the jams. You know?
It was. Because it was, again, that was kind of an OG restaurant up in the Domain. So.
Yeah. But gone. Right?
Yeah.
Goes to show you.
Yeah. Well, so we had a time there at True Food where it was just a few of us, getting our butts kicked. I got promoted.
We crossed paths at True Foods.
Yeah, that's where I think we met.
Yes,
actually.
For sure.
Yeah. So, so I took over there after Todd left in January. I took over officially like in, I think it was like March before they finally promoted me. It was a couple months. But it was cool. We had some good corporate chefs at the time, and some guys that were really helpful. And
did Joey? Did he work with you?
Joey?
Yeah. He moved to Colorado.
Yeah. Joey was there. Yeah, he was one of my sous chefs. I hired him on. From 24 Diner.
Man.
He actually worked at 24 Diner with our sommelier at the winery now, Courtney.
Okay.
So she knew Joey a lot too, and he's a pretty known dude around Austin.
Cool dude. He's gone though.
Yeah. He's enjoying the life in Colorado, man.
Sure.
You know why he's
not hard to do.
Not hard to do. Yeah, I don't know. He does post a lot of snow though on his Instagram account, so I don't know.
I feel like right before he was about to move, I was like, you got to come do a podcast. I think I had just started.
Oh, really?
And I was like, you got to come do it.
He's a funny dude, man. He's a good dude to talk to.
And then I went and he was gone.
He's a big Southern California guy too, so huge Raider fan, Dodger fan. Yeah. So nice. We hit it off really well. I had some really good sous chefs there, and at one point I think I had like 50 guys on staff just in the kitchen alone in that place. I think we did like almost 9 million my first full year there with them. So it was a beast of a place. We were always like top sales in the company, between us and like Atlanta with True Food. So it was a beast of a place, and it really kind of wore on me quicker. And then when they sold, changes happened. Oprah got a part of it.
So did you see changes?
Oh, yeah.
In your day to day? Yeah. That's never
in the day to day.
Sometimes good, sometimes
with corporate guys. And a lot of people ended up leaving even after the time I left.
Yeah.
As far as like top guys, corporate chefs, stuff like
How
that.
long did that? take to happen? When it was sold?
I mean, it was months, a couple months.
Okay.
It didn't seem like too long.
Because
I really felt a big change in the place when like the Oprah thing happened, and then it turned into like, in my mind, this is just me talking, it turned into like we had to get her money back, so they were just squeezing everything out of everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do more with less, get your labor down, get your food costs down, but we want you to open up your reservations more and do more. And because we did 80% of our sales was food in that place.
Right.
We only had a little bit of booze and like one beer. And
what was the booze, like kombucha?
Yeah, well, we had kombucha on tap. We had beer on tap. Like, we were actually one of the only first True Foods that actually had beer on tap. Everybody else had bottled stuff. Right? Yeah, exactly. And the kombucha too.
You'd be stupid not to serve beer in Austin.
But we had, vodka, tequila. We had some cool drinks and stuff. But I mean, like our sales were 80% food.
That's also insane. That speaks
exactly.
volumes. Yeah.
And I mean, our most expensive item, I think at the time, was like $22.
And that was like some kind of like slow roasted sweet potato.
No, that was one of our fish dishes that we had. So, and we made good food.
I've never eaten there, and I want to.
I miss the food some days. When I'm eating crappy and I feel crappy, I'm like, man, I really wish I was still eating at True Food.
So a little quinoa, and some nuts or something.
Some quinoa and some turmeric. Little ancient grain bowl is killer.
Yeah.
And it was
that's good food, man.
It really was.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it more than I thought I would because, again, it wasn't like my style of food. I'm more of like a bar food kind of guy. Like, it's a place that didn't serve pig anyway.
No way.
No way at all. No, nothing pork product at all. And that was one thing that always kind of irked me in the back of my soul, I guess, because, I love the pig. Everybody does.
Yeah, but it's like
that's what I thought.
Always unhealthy? Is that a thing?
I think it was more, just because it's a pig. They feel like it's a dirty animal. That the guy who kind of came up with the concept with Fox was a doctor, and so he had this whole anti-inflammatory diet, which is the basis of it.
I must say, man, I really like that. I think it's cool.
It really the whole background of True Food is pretty inspiring, and the way that they made it happen and the way that they're growing. I mean, they're insanely growing right now. They have so many restaurants now.
We were talking before we started this, but Ranch Hand, if you like the True Foods, you should try.
Yeah, I need to go check those. There's a lot of places I need to check out. I just don't take
But
the
if
time.
you're ever feeling like, not the bar
I need
food
something,
you don't want to go to True Foods, go to Ranch
Do
Hand.
a juice cleanse and go to Ranch Hand, The juice cleanses.
Or grab one of these cocktails and go to Ranch Hand.
Yeah, that sounds even like a better idea.
For sure.
So, yeah, True Food was great. And I was there for a bit, and again, I just kind of got. It was time to leave. You get in this business, you kind of get that sense of places. Like,
it
was
that
just
when you
time
went to the good times?
That's when I went. Yeah, so I actually left there. When I left there, it was midsummer, like towards the end of summer. So it kind of worked out where my wife was starting her new job. She had to be back like a month before the kids went back to school. She had to start working again. So I ended up basically just kind of being, Mr. Mom, which I don't even know if you can say that these days anymore.
Can you not?
There's so many women that are out there working their butts off too, like we are, so.
Yeah, but I think you were home with the kids.
I was at home dad. That's what you want to say. I was at home dad basically the end of summer. And then once they went back to school, I actually went to Samsung. And worked there for a couple months. Yeah, the semiconductor factory there on like Palmer.
Okay.
They have 2 big ass cafeterias there.
All right.
That they serve out of. We did everything from most everything from scratch there, and so it was fun.
Kind of like similar to.
But it was Monday through Friday. I worked like 7:30 to 3.
Oh yeah. That's almost in line with kind of what you ended up doing now, except what you do now is a little bit better.
Exactly. It's a little more upscale. So I went there, and then I got hooked up with. I remember applying to the position for Good Times, and then didn't hear from him for a while, and then out of the blue he called me, and then that was just a good experience to kind of get a place back up and running that was kind of existent before, and then we were still remodeling and so I think I started working for them right after Thanksgiving, and then we got open in February, and then I left there in like June.
Sure.
And that's when I kind of got burnt out on just the restaurant scene.
Yeah.
As far as being in it and the hours and the stress that came with it, and I didn't like who I was at home, and that was kind of the biggest eye opener of like, I don't want to be that dad that just comes home and is grumpy and pissy. And like, I want to come home and unwind with my kids and like my wife.
Do you have folks in the industry who are like helpful talking to you? Or?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Blake was a big part of me actually taking that job. I talked to him a lot.
Did he tell you were being an asshole at home, or
no? I don't think so. I mean, I don't know if I was, but I just felt like I didn't feel right.
Right.
I enjoyed what I was doing, but once I left, I just wasn't feeling good going home. And
you're kind of like in the mode, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And it was kind of just
hard
like
a
day-to-day thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I never had that issue before, and maybe I got a little crazy with it and just thought it was that place and was like, oh, it's all restaurants. But I I needed a break, so I went and sold cars for a couple months.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
What'd you think? What'd you sell? Anything good? Ferraris?
Volkswagen, actually.
Volkswagens.
Yeah, they're the ones that hired me. So
how many Beetle? Wait, what are they? Bugs?
They're the Beetles. Yeah, I didn't sell any Beetles.
Everybody waves.
I didn't sell many cars, but it was.
No. What'd you do there?
Well, I was there for 2 months. I think I sold, I don't know, 10 cars maybe in 2 months. Right. I don't know. It wasn't a lot, man. It was like my first sales job, and I really was kind of looking for, food sales or something like that. But some places just wouldn't hire without any kind of experience. And
so, how did being a chef for so long translate to selling cars?
Not much at all. Not much at all. Other than talking with people.
Salesperson? Yeah, you get talking with somebody.
and I've always been good at talking. And I can always talk to people, and as long as I know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
I can BS it if I need to.
Sure, yes. But
again, that's being a chef too. You got to BS people sometimes, and
yes.
But with the cars, and especially with like Volkswagen, I'd had people in there like schooling me. Which was hilarious because they're like, there's people that like drive Volkswagens know about Volkswagens.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about Volkswagen. I never owned a Volkswagen. It was a place that hired me. And it just, it was not cost effective for me to work there anymore.
It's all commission.
Basically, yeah. It was like we had a draw is what they called it. And if you sold enough cars to beat your draw, that was great. You still got what that number was plus whatever was over it. But if you didn't sell any cars, but I just got the draw, I never went over the draw. So it was like I wasn't making dick there.
Sure.
I made more money like being a line cook when I first came out here like 11 years ago.
Yeah.
So the winery popped up on Indeed. I jumped on that pretty quick. I ended up being, I think, the third person that they interviewed, cooked for.
I know one.
Yeah.
Who had interviewed over there. I told you about that.
Yeah.
She's doing well now. I'm happy.
She was one, and then there was another young lady that did it too, and
they chose you.
They chose me. They did. I think the GM Tommy. I think he just kind of liked my background. I think I had a little more experience than the other two. Not to say they couldn't do this job,
sure.
But it was.
You've been around a little.
I've been around a little bit. I've managed a lot of people.
In California, that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, the resort I worked for was great. I mean, I had some awesome chefs there, and the places I worked at in Austin, I probably wouldn't have done it a whole lot different. I was at UT for a long time, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I always complained about football season because it was so many hours but I love sports, so I love being in the stadium every day, walking up to the stadium every day. Like that was enjoyable for me. But again, I mean, after 7 years, it just comes to a point where like I can't be at this place for 20 years.
No, yeah,
that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you identified it.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think those are the people that get stuck in their jobs and then they're always there. And like, it's just, I'm not at that point in my career where I can just sit at a job for 20 hours. My wife and I's goal in the next 10 years is actually open a B&B, somewhere on the outskirts, and kind of do where she can be like a counselor, whether it's like marriage couple, marriage therapy, stuff like that, or family stuff or whatever it is. And I can show people how to cook and do things like that because I enjoy doing that, and I did that for a while. And even at like the club, I do cooking classes in the kitchen and things like that. Like I always had to do events at UT for the members, and I love that. Yeah, and that's always been an aspect, and that's why I've never been like one of those chefs that just hides in the kitchen, doesn't talk to the guests. Like that's tacky to me. Like you need to get out there and see what they're saying about you.
Yeah.
And I've yet to. Well, not yet. I think Good Times was the first time I actually went out to a table and somebody really told me what they thought about my food, which wasn't good.
Yeah.
But again, that's some country folks out there, man.
Sure.
On the east side. So, But it's good for the soul. Obviously in this business we don't know everything. Nobody knows everything in cooking. There's always something new.
No, that's
there's
very
always
good
something that you haven't done that you need to do. With me, it's always been pastries and like baking and stuff. I never got into that. I wasn't a pastry chef.
It's a book right here.
That's a great book, man. David Norman's awesome. I love Easy Tiger. We just went there the other morning, and
Link or 6th Street?
Link.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty quick for us to get there, so I love that spot. The 6th Street one's cool. Not for the kids, though.
Link is neat.
Link is fun for the kids. They can run around. I can see them. I don't have to worry about them.
Should ask for a tour. We had Michael Barnes on here from there.
Yeah.
He's no longer with Easy Tiger.
Oh, no? Huh.
He moved to Colorado as well.
Oh, yeah.
Sucking all the people, the good folks out
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Everybody's out there starting their own farms, I think.
Just whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
They're getting ready for the next craze of cooking, I think.
Well, actually, the guy that I took over for at the winery went to Colorado Springs for a job.
There you go.
Yeah. So he was only there a couple months.
If I could go to Colorado, I just might.
I would be, but my wife hates the cold, so we'd have to be like, I don't know. Grand Junction, I think, is like a decent area that gets cold, but not like insanely.
Well, yeah, but I've heard it's a different kind of cold because Colorado's a mile closer to the sun.
Yeah.
So it's when it's cold,
Denver and stuff. Yeah.
It's not like
I have family like south of Denver. My cousins and her kids, they live south of Denver. One of my cousins goes to, I think, Boulder University. And then, my dad has been wanting to go to Colorado for a while and live out there. I'd love to, because again, it's like California with the ocean. Because like I said, I grew up camping. We used to go to Northern California and camp on the streams and lakes and go fishing and do all that stuff.
Do you guys camp here?
We have a few times. It's not, I want to get more now that Nate's older and he enjoys like fishing and stuff like that. And, get out there and get the kids. And my daughter's a little prissy for camping, unfortunately, because she's going to be the princess and doesn't like to be outside too much. And
I'm sweating.
All that. She's going to be that girl, unfortunately. But she did do a little cheerleading camp that she really enjoyed. So
cool.
She actually was at the Del Valley football game a couple weeks ago. They did it with a bunch of little kids out there with the cheerleaders doing a little number. Yeah, so she might not play sports, but she definitely wants to do it. She would be a cheerleader.
Well, she'll sweat during that.
She will. She'll have to.
Well, let me ask you before we start to wrap this up is favorite spots to eat.
I knew it was coming, man. Well, Suerte, I think I talked about a little earlier. That's probably mine and my wife's like jam right there. Like that's date night. That's where we're gonna go.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we're trying. Next date night is Tuesday.
Suerte is man. You sit at the kitchen bar too. They have the little bar top right at the kitchen.
No,
sit there, man.
I've never been there. I'm horrible. I've been there. Not eating there.
Man, it's amazing. I mean, I follow. They're one of the people I do follow.
You go, right?
What's that?
Nick's does.
Yeah. That's no.
Suerte.
We're actually going to Incubus on Wednesday next week to the Moody Theater, so maybe we'll go check that out there before.
Man, I'm jealous.
So it wasn't cheap, man. But
you're a big Incubus fan?
I am, man. I really am. We actually went to this before we met. We went to the same concert in California. I think it was like
Incubus. They're from Calabasas.
Yeah, it was Incubus and Deftones, and
sick combination.
Yeah, I went in Irvine with my buddies, and the next day she was out like in Hollywood at the same concert. So we ended up finding that out after we started dating. Like, oh wow, yeah. So we had a lot of things in common, which kind of worked out for us, obviously, in the long run. But Incubus is a part of like our growth as a relationship.
That's good to know.
So it's pretty exciting. Yeah, it really is. And that album, like they're gonna play that album in its entirety. Like it's
they're gonna play Make Yourself?
Yeah, in the entirety plus other songs. So we're pretty psyched. And
they're one of those bands that like, they started out, they did the heavy thing, and then people didn't like that they stopped doing it. But for me, I've loved everything.
I love their old albums, man. Like
I love all the old ones, but I love everything.
Yeah, Science is great, and I think their last album they came out with, I think it's 8, is what it is. Like that's a great album.
I felt like it revisited all the Science and Make Yourself.
All those songs are awesome, and like that's a great Spotify station is Incubus, and I play it a lot. Yeah, I play that a lot at work, man. I always have to have music at work. I work well with that. So
I did music for a long time, and then I kind of obviously ventured towards podcasts.
Yeah,
as I kind of outdid myself with all the music.
I never learned instruments or anything like that. I really want Nate to start playing guitar, do something like that.
Yeah, man.
So
if he wants to, I'll show him a couple things if he ever grabs one.
Yeah, I love that. That's and nowadays it's easy. I mean, you can
it's crazy.
Get stuff online and learn online, YouTube, or even FaceTiming with somebody and they can teach you how to do it live or whatever it is, So it's super easy now, and I just need to go buy him a guitar and have him learn. And I just want him to be excited about it, because
you got to get him a decent guitar. If you do that, it can't be. It's just got to stay in tune.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's it. Because people their parents buy them the cheapest guitars and they never stick with it because it was never fun to play.
Yeah. So Suerte for sure. I know the Pine House guys. Or I'm sorry, not Pine House.
Pine House Pizza.
I love Pine House Pizza. I was gonna say the Via guys down here.
Yeah.
And that stuff is really good too. But I'm a big Pine House guy.
But Via 313 takes the pie.
It is good. I love Pine House's pizza. I love the atmosphere. I love the beer. Obviously, is a huge kicker for me. I go there for the pizza and I go there for the beer. And I leave with beer usually now, especially. You can buy the cans and take them home, but that's a killer place. I think I heard somebody talk about because they got kids, like Chick-fil-A is a big part of our life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but it's good. I mean, it's good. And I actually went and tried the Popeyes chicken sandwich the other day that everybody's having all these big things about. And
yes, and can you report anything special here?
It was good. I felt like the chicken was a little dry, and it definitely felt more like a freshly breaded piece of chicken.
Yeah, okay.
Than like Chick-fil-A feels a little more commercial, cut out kind of thing. Because it's a thicker piece of chicken, whatever I guess you want to call it. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was really good, but it's just a chicken sandwich, spiced chicken sandwich.
Exactly right. I have nothing to say about that.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I had a craving for it. I kind of eat crappy sometimes, which I need to stop doing because I'm getting old. So, eating crappy and drinking. I usually cook at home. I always cook pretty healthy. We do a lot of like I try to keep things kind of like that Whole30 paleo kind of thing because it's good for
better than what we're doing here.
Well, it's good for me and my wife, and it's kind of challenging to do sometimes to make things good out of not normal products, whatever it is,
Yeah.
What you would normally use, so it's fun. But we don't get out a lot as far as that.
Well, with the kids, it's not always easy.
It isn't, yeah.
Hence the Chick-fil-A.
Exactly. Swift's Attics was a good place we used to like to go to. North, we love North. Again, that's kind of been like...
You got downtown now.
Yeah, so that's been a place that we've gone to since we moved out here. I mean, I can vividly remember going there, and like my wife loves the calamari, and I love everything else they do there. It's good for the kids too. And what else? I mean, Kome's a great place for some sushi.
Definitely. That's near
Uchiko.
You.
Yeah, Uchiko again. Haven't been there in a while since. I don't think we've been there since like Nate was younger. But
some of the best restaurants in Austin.
Yeah,
Uchiko.
Uchiko. Nate would just sit there and eat like a bowl of rice and be content and wouldn't make a sound. He was a great kid to take out. So we used to go there pretty often and get the happy hour. So I'm all about the happy hour. 8-Track, my buddy Blake's place has some really cool food. It's nice. He did that smart because he doesn't have any kind of like service. It's a walk-up window and an order kind of thing.
I think that's how Nick's does too. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, man. Isn't the deal with servers and stuff? He has a couple bartenders, and then you order from the window, man.
That's
and you
how
get killer food.
Funkadelic. I don't know if you've been there.
Yeah, I haven't been there, man. I actually was there. I went by there the other day because I had a craving for ice cream, so I had to go to Cow Tippery. And I went by there, and I need to go check that out.
Yeah, their podcast is coming out. He's been on, but his second appearance is coming out. His appearance, whatever it is coming out tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
No, Saturday. Sorry.
Nice.
But he's friends with everybody in that complex, but not them. Cow
Tippery.
Yeah.
Which is weird because like when you go in there, they feel like they're all connected.
Yeah. Because they are except for them.
Yeah, like Cow Tippery's opened up to like the pizza place next door.
Right. Yeah.
And you can see like into the pizza place's kitchen when you're like ordering your ice cream, and so it's a weird little complex, but
yeah, Funkadelic though, you walk right up, you order, it's good like that.
And I mean we're a separate entity from Trattoria Linza, but their food is killer Italian food out there. I mean, it's a great...
You eat over there sometimes?
We have, yeah.
I heard the owner for Salt Lake eats there every day.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't know if it's
good
true or
stuff. I mean, they do a really good job. They have killer pizzas. You can go get some wine at Duchman next door and then go over there and get a nice, good meal. Because like I said, I mean, I'm only there serving Thursday through Saturday from 12 to 6, and it's cheese plates. We do like a fondue and with some of the wine and like pretzel sticks and a couple flatbreads. and a hummus and stuff like that, and then I'll run some specials, and so.
So we can go see you over there, but 2 years is quick.
2 years is quick, man.
You're going to come back in here and keep.
Yeah. No, that's my goal right now.
There.
So
you got a name, or is it all just kind of a thing that's going to happen?
I don't know, man. I mean, there's this great Beck song that's called "Que Onda Güero." I think that would be a pretty cool name for a truck too.
And then what does that mean?
It's like "What's up, white boy," basically kind of thing. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I might be getting my Spanish wrong, but my wife and her family, like, Mexican food is a huge part of our life, and
you need to take this vacation. Come back.
We're gonna take buy
a trailer.
So I said I'd like to have all that set up before I go down there, and then be able
really?
to come back and like jump into it. Yeah. So.
But what if you go there and you're like, no, this is not what I'm going to do. We're going to just come back with a different. It'd be like we're making burgers.
No, because everybody just makes burgers, and there's too many good burger places around. There's not enough. Nothing against Tex-Mex, but there is. I mean, my kids love it because it's got queso.
Yes.
And my son was very disappointed when we went last year and he couldn't get queso in Mexico. I said, because it's not Mexican, bro. It's Tex-Mex. I'm sorry. And I told him, I was like, we're not going to go to restaurants. You're not going to get queso.
Right.
They don't have it in Mexico, real Mexico. So I just, I think it's something that could really benefit, especially like we talked about earlier, all the Californians that are coming out here. Southern California, man, there's a lot of good Mexican food down there. A lot. Because, cool. I mean, TJ's a couple hours away. And there's a lot of killer restaurants like right across the border in TJ and Rosarito, Mexico, on that West Coast.
And people do that all the time. They just go.
Oh, yeah. You just go down. I mean, I don't know how easy it is nowadays, but I mean, back in the day, San Diego.
I've done that.
There's people
I didn't know it was like a thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's people that live down there like Chula Vista, San Diego area.
I remember waiting in line. I remember getting stopped and searched.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know how
to
it
go
is
to
now.
go out to eat.
To go down there, yeah. Yeah. They'll go down there to some killer restaurants.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be pretty good. Like,
yeah,
come back with a little whatever Mexican
little mariachi or something, Yeah. So, I think it's something that could be very beneficial to the city,
for sure.
And I think if, like I said, if I can get hooked up with a brewery or something like that, where I have like a spot. Yeah, or I have a spot that I'm not really traveling around. I'd rather get a truck because I like to be mobile. I don't want to have a trailer and deal with that. But they are more expensive, they're harder to find, and they're a little bit bigger. So you got to make sure you have enough room for it. But I want to do it right. Go down there, work with her cousins. Learn from his guys down there, and really get immersed in it for that. A month is not a long time, but I already know a lot about it, I feel like, so just kind of refining it with some guys down there I think would be beneficial and hopefully help me get it open.
Sure. We'll see. Yeah, keep me in the loop when you do that.
Yeah, man.
I'll support it 100%.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and you got to talk to Edgar at Nixta, man.
He did
that whole jam that you just described. Yeah. That's what he did.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But
and you said he was already on the podcast?
He was, yeah.
Okay, I was listening to that one.
I don't know what number it is, but it's on there.
Edgar?
Yeah, good people.
Cool. All right.
And then the timeline of their podcast is all messed up because it ended up opening. Like things go. It didn't open. It's a brick and mortar. It didn't open when we said it would.
So they're fairly new then, yeah?
They are, yes.
Okay, cool.
No, I really think you'll enjoy going.
You said 12th?
Yes, East 12th. It's like one of the only restaurants on that street. There are a couple of random little things, but
there's some sketchy stuff on East 12th.
But no, it's. I was gonna say there's like some kind of apartment complex across the street there.
Yeah.
There's a houses behind the restaurant.
We'll find it for sure.
But yes, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Chef Don, appreciate it.
Thank you.